Welcome everybody to another podcast of the Black Dog Confessional. I am here with good old Redbird like usual, but I do have a special guest today. We'll call him Mike D because I keep screwing up his last name.
Hey, what's with this I? Why can't we have a special guest today?
Yeah, we won't talk about that on the air. But anyway, this is podcast X, which means we're a podcast 10. I had to do the Wolverine thing because, you know, that's a Weapon X reference. And because I had to do that.
Dude, so bad.
Because we have somebody.
So bad.
Shut your face.
Take it back. Take it back and take it back.
Hold on, let's address my new camera angle here because I appreciate this because Jesse knew we had somebody that had a lot of muscle on the show today. And so instead of giving me.
You know, I'm getting.
No, I like this because my usual camera angle shows the fact that I have a little bit more than usual in the belly area. And now this one just shows my chest and up, which is excellent. You know,
it's definitely your best.
It's definitely the better angle.
Getting out
you
angled
know,
already.
yeah. So we got Mike D with us, and not from the Beastie Boys, but close enough. I mean, you are pretty cool. So this is a buddy of Chris's.
I'm pretty cool. Got it.
Yeah, pretty cool. Well, I had to give you pretty cool because you can't be totally cool because you came as a friend of Chris's. I mean, you know.
Oh, all right.
So Chris, why don't you introduce your buddy here?
Oh, now I get to introduce.
Yeah.
Right.
Do
It's your guest. It's your guest.
Sorry, Chris's guest.
No. It's your guest. Go ahead, Steve. Anyway.
This is what I deal with.
All right. So this is Mike. I'm going to butcher his last name too, so we'll go Mike D because I always say it wrong. Call him Mike DeStefano, which is apparently not correct.
It's close enough.
Right. I first met Mike, probably 3 or 4 years ago. We were at the first responder games doing powerlifting. And it's always funny when you go to powerlifting meet because there's like 3 different types of people there. You have your guys that are like super serious and they're assholes to everybody and they don't care. And then you've got other ones who are just kind of locked in and they know, okay, my lift's coming up and I'm going to pay attention. And I'm just thinking about my lift, and that's all I'm going to care about, and that's Mike. And then you have me who's just kind of bouncing around going, hey, can we lift? Can we lift? Can we do something? Come on. Hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because I just don't care. In fact, I think the last one that we did, we went, and you have to do weigh-ins, Steve, so there's weight classes.
Ew, okay.
Right. So I compete in a higher weight class.
You can't out-angle yourself on that one either.
So let's say it was like I compete in like the 242s. And I think, I think Mike was 198.
Yeah.
So Mike had been weight cutting that day in the days prior, trying to make sure he was at 198. Because you probably walk around at like, what, 210, 215?
Yeah, about 215.
Yeah. So, I mean, sitting in the attic sweating. We're all down at the pool. He's sweating, trying to lose weight. We go weigh in. I weigh in at like 239. Mike goes and weighs in, and he's all freaking out. Like, I'm going to make 198. I got it. I'm 197.6. And he weighs in, and he's all happy, and he's like, I got to eat. I go weigh in, and they're like, 239. I'm like, cool. Jump off. Start pulling Uncrustables out of my pocket. Start eating them. Mike's like, hey. I'm like, here you go.
Weighed in with the Uncrustables.
Weighed in with the Uncrustables. And then we get to the meet the next day, and I'm the same way. I'm like, I'm just going to eat, and let's go lift. I'm like, I got to do the math. He's like Rain Man, like figuring out numbers in his head, percentage, and this is what we're going to do. So immediately I hit it off pretty well with Mike. We got along real well. His wife and my wife started talking, and they became pretty good friends during that. And then I found out that Mike works for the local fire rescue unit around here. And we work for a local law enforcement, so we had that connection. And then Mike told me at another competition after that, or maybe it was before that, I don't know, that he was starting to think about opening up his own powerlifting gym. And I said, well, that sounds like a great idea. And then I told my wife, I go, he's freaking crazy. Dude works a full-time job. His wife works a full-time job. He's got 2 children, both heavily involved in sports. He's a great father, involved leader with his agency. I don't know how he's going to find time.
Well, he works like, what, 5 days a month?
Well, yeah.
Well, I'm there more than 5 days.
So I wanted to bring Mike on to talk about that. How do you find time, having a full-time job, being a husband, being a father, to have your own gym or any business, to open a business on your own and be able to do that and be so successful that you've outgrown the facility that you're in now within a year and a half?
1 year.
To have to move to a larger facility that quickly. And then we can talk about some leadership stuff. Mike's published some articles on different fire magazines and stuff about leadership. I know Steve really likes to talk about leadership. So that's it, man. So that's Mike.
that was a great intro.
That's a yeah.
I was saying, like,
impressed.
you feel good about yourself right now. I mean, like, you don't even need to talk anymore. You're just like, Chris said it all.
It's like an award ceremony. This is
It is.
fantastic.
You know, like, what should I hand you? This bottle of water or something? You know?
And we cut now. We're done.
We're good.
So go
plug
ahead.
your gym and let's get out of here.
Get the hell out of here. So yeah, I mean, it's a great question. How do you manage your time? Because time management is a big thing in leadership techniques. Like we see a lot of people fail because of bad time management. Like how do you work that out?
I mean, I was blessed in the beginning to start with the department that I work for and everything. I started kind of moving up the ranks and going through my degrees. And I just finished my master's degree probably about a year and a half ago, which actually worked out well because I finished the master's degree right before we bid off on starting the gym. So I already had something that was consuming a ton of time. So when I started the gym, it allowed me to just transfer all of that time that I was putting toward the degree into the gym. But otherwise, I mean, it's if I pulled up my calendar on my computer, it's just packed full of random stuff that I have to do. So like I was telling Chris earlier, man, we before we came in here, I think I laid down on the couch for about 10 minutes, and my wife had to wake me up and go, hey, Mike, don't you have that podcast today? I'm like, oh, God, yeah. So it's tiring for sure, but it's just a giant juggling act.
Now, what time does your day start?
If I'm going on to shift, I wake up about 5. And then, you know, it's a typical night. It's around 10:30ish. I'm in bed.
Now, your workouts, are you like an early morning workout person?
No, it's usually mid-morning. The thing that sucks is with powerlifting lately, my training schedule, I'm looking at about 2 to 3 hours a day in training that I'm at the gym consistently. And then on top of that, I'm usually, another hour or so that I'm at the gym cleaning stuff up, getting stuff prepared for members and everything like that. So I'm sitting at the gym about 4 to 5 hours a day on my days off.
Now, you said you're getting ready to move to a bigger facility?
Yeah, we're currently located off of Vieira Boulevard. We're in like a 1,600 square foot facility. This is the last month being there, and then April 1st we're opening up our facility off of West Oak Alley over there by the flea market.
Yeah.
And we're getting a 4,000 square foot building that's going to be ours. So it's a huge change for us, but it's going to be good.
Was that over there by like paw prints and all that?
Yeah, it's actually off paw prints.
Oh man, boom! Look at that.
Yep, 835 paw prints.
That's awesome. Does Ricky Connor come over there?
Absolutely. He was my first member.
Really?
Yeah, member number 1 is Ricky Connor.
That is awesome. Yeah, no, that's Ricky goes through his phases, and I know when he's starting to really get into it, because then he'll talk trash at me, and I'll be like, oh, thanks, I feel really great about myself, thanks, Ricky, but no.
I got him to sign up for the first responder games this year, so he's gonna be competing in powerlifting this year.
That's awesome.
I'm excited. We're gonna have a decent team that's gonna be out there for that event.
What about you, Christopher? Will you be?
Yeah, come on out.
I will announce here that I will not be doing the first responder games.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Wait, did they?
Hold on, time out. We have to do like a news bulletin thing, like. Okay, Christopher, make your big announcement.
I have 2 questions. Did they bring squats back?
No squats.
Okay, then I might be in. And are they going to allow cheating sumo deadlifts?
We're not even 5 minutes into this,
right?
And you already.
What? Okay, now this is the second time I've heard about the sumo deadlift thing, because Ricky was talking trash online about that.
Of course.
And now Redbird brings it up. I don't even know what that is.
Clearly.
Clearly. I don't even really know what a deadlift is, but I mean.
Right. So in a conventional deadlift, which real men do, your legs are close. You grab about shoulders width apart and you pull up. In a sumo deadlift, you get really wide, as long as you can get your legs out, and you squat down to the bar, and you move it about 6-7 inches off the ground, and you set it back down.
Oh, so it's like it's the same thing, but your legs are apart.
Right. Yeah, basically.
So
it's a completely different lift, in all honesty, but
is this like a real thing, or is this like a cheaters thing?
No, it's
real.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if this was a trash talking session. I just
don't
know what we're doing.
It's a completely trash talk session.
It's trash talk session for one of us here.
Right.
Yeah.
In reality, I don't sumo deadlift because I can't. If I could figure out the mechanics behind it and do it properly, I would absolutely do it that way. But I just don't.
It's considered a deadlift, but it works different muscle groups and everything like that. A sumo deadlift is more of a leverage lift. So you're using your hips and your glutes to force your upper body up to pull the bar up. Whereas in a conventional deadlift, you're kind of standing up and pulling it kind of backward. So you're using a lot more of your hamstrings and your lower back and everything like that, your erector muscles to get it up.
Yeah, you can just kind of muscle up a conventional deadlift. I mean, if you're just strong enough to grab with, from my experience from doing sumo deadlifts or trying to do them, it's much more technical. If you don't understand how the movement itself works, you're just gonna look like an idiot, which is what I look like every time I try it. So
Is it like a thing for like if you don't do sumo, if you have like squatty legs or something like that? Because like I'm like comparing the legs, and I can't picture you being like,
no, some of
be off balance.
No,
like
some of the strongest guys I know, Mike's one of them. They do sumo deadlifts.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine, Thomas, is not very tall. He sumo pulls and he's ridiculously strong.
Eddie Cohen.
Yeah.
He's another
I just picture
deadlifter.
Chris like a weeble, you know, like he wobbles but he won't fall down, you know, as he gets it up.
You're not. Yeah, the bar's not gonna let you fall.
Are we talking about deadlifts or squats now?
Oh, here we go. Go ahead.
Is there a difference? I don't know. Just go ahead with
So
it.
you don't know the difference between a deadlift and a squat?
Chris, are you serious right now?
Yeah, but your
do,
wife.
do you even know me? Do you even know me?
You have worked out at some point in your life. No, never.
Like in a gym?
Yeah.
Chris, I'm not going to drop an F-bomb, but no. No, I've never had a gym membership in my life. The only time
This is all genetics.
You're right. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
not
yeah, it's all
natural. Actually, it's not.
genetics. Yeah.
If you saw his dad, who's in his late 60s,
But yeah, my
is
dad's
ripped and runs.
Yeah, my
runs
dad runs
marathons.
marathons and rides like 40 miles a day on his bike. Huge difference. Like he lives 3 doors down from me, and when I pull into my driveway in the morning, I've often watched him trotting out, and then when I wake up in the afternoon, I see him pedaling out, and that's what he does because he's retired, and that is a good life, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, my
Someday.
dad just ran like a half marathon. But like me, I'm more like I don't like running because there's no goal to the end of it. But like if you put a soccer ball out there, I'll chase the soccer ball. Because it's like I'm like a squirrel, you know. I'm like, oh, ball, let me go get the ball, you know. But if you were to tell me to go in the gym, and I'm a people watcher, so I'd be like, what is he doing? Is that a sumo? I don't even know. I mean, like, why is his leg so far apart? You know, that would be me, you know. But I took a class my senior year of high school where the coach was like, all right, here's the deal, we're gonna run in the circuits. We have to do like everything for like a minute or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I probably put on like 20 pounds doing that, but like he would make you work out every single day, and it was great. But yeah, after that, if it's not like riding a bike or like basic push-up type stuff, then I've never had a gym membership.
Well, it just so happens there's going to be a new gym
Yeah.
about 3 miles from
Right
your house
by your
opening up.
house.
Yeah,
April
but that's
1st.
like powerlifting. Like
Not true. Well, there is powerlifting, but Mike will
Yeah,
tell you.
we got strongman, powerlifting, all kinds of strength stuff. We'll teach you all the stuff you want to know.
oh
We'll stand around and we'll watch you do push-ups and ride your bicycle. How about that?
oh my god,
You could ride your bicycle there. There's your cardio.
I actually could ride my bicycle
Right.
there.
There's your cardio. You do a little bit of weight training, and then
Oh,
you ride
by the
your
way,
bike
Chris
home.
hates cardio. Everybody, if you didn't know that,
I
Chris
think that's.
absolutely-
I think
Whoa.
anybody watching this live, anybody watching this can clearly tell that Chris hates cardio.
Okay.
That kind of falls in line with powerlifting.
Right.
I mean,
Well, so here I am.
That's
I'm
the win.
What was it, a while ago? I'm out there riding my bike every day, you know, training my fat to not be so fat. And and Chris would be like, yeah, good job, ride that bike, guy. You know, I'd be like, where's my inspiration, Chris? Where's my motivation? He'd be like, why don't you get in the gym with me and lift some real man weight? And I'd be like, I can't, you know. But that's pretty much my life.
and that's how we got Ricky to where he is now. Exactly. Not with that CrossFit crap. You need to start lifting heavy weights.
Yeah.
So you've never been in a gym. We were talking about this earlier. If you set,
By the way, before I get all the emails and hate mail and stuff, I don't hate CrossFit.
I do. We were talking about setting goals, and you have to. We're talking about competing in meets and doing powerlifting meets. And if you sit there and talk about doing stuff like that, but never actually sign up, you never will. But once you sign up for one, that sets your goal. And once your goal is set, then now you're going to go in there and you're going to lift all the time. And the appealing thing, like we were talking about with powerlifting, is as you're working out, you're constantly seeing gains. You're seeing growth. That quick? I didn't even see your finger go up.
He did. He went like this. He went.
Oh, that's your job. You're the one that sees it.
But you started talking, so I was letting it go.
You should have given me the finger and said, Jesse's ready to go.
I can't. There's a camera right in front of me. I can't give you
different
two finger.
All right, well, let's go to break.
All right.
Make sure you check out Space Cowboy Justice with your hosts, Blake Stewart and Paul Daly. We're going to be talking about interesting legal issues in the entertainment industry and everything geek. If you're into Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, comic books, we're talking about it. Coming at you from the Space Coast Podcast Studios.
Jesse, have you ever wondered what is the best way to interview applicants for your open position so you have the best chance of hiring a keeper?
All the time.
Well, I talk to managers every day, Jesse, that use their gut instinct to make a hire. Sometimes that works out, but more times than not, it can lead to a bad hire. Replacing a poor hire can be expensive and hurt morale. One of our most popular service offerings at HR Office Savers is teaching employers how to be better interviewers. Improved interviewing techniques lead to better hiring, which leads to better employee retention, which leads to less turnover and more profit. Contact me today to find out how you can learn to be a better interviewer. I can be reached online at www.hrofficesavers.com or by phone 928-308-4506. Again, that's 928-308-4506. 928-308-4506.
You're listening to Space Coast Podcast, home of the greatest podcasts on the Space Coast. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or having your own show, email us at spacecoastpodcast@hotmail.com.
Space Coast Podcast.
Talk hard!
All right, we are back, and on break we started to touch on something. We want to bring it out right now. We're gonna bring it out. So one of the things that I was talking about on the break is time management, and not necessarily time management for the business, but time management for the person. For me, with the schedule that I work and having two kids and being a husband and a father and everything that goes along with that, I have a hard time finding time. And everybody will say that's an excuse. It is an excuse, but it's a reality for me. Is finding that time. How do people find people find the time to be able to invest like this?
I mean, I hate to plug another. It's a good management class, but that I don't know if you've taken the 7 Habits of
Highly Effective People.
Yep.
Stephen Covey.
Yep. And they talk about pre-scheduling everything, creating a schedule, and that consistency factor. And that's one of the things that I've done. Like, I work 24/48s because I'm with the fire department. And as you guys probably know, we have a ton of opportunity for overtime and everything like that. But it took me taking a step back from the overtime and kind of working only in the training division. That way I could have off, and I knew that I was going to be off at 5 p.m. every day. So my days off, 5 p.m. I end. Even when I'm at the gym and everything like that, my clients, when I'm doing any type of one-on-one training, we end at 5 p.m. That way I know that my kids' volleyball or softball or whatever have you is going to be after that time. So from 5 p.m. until 9, 10 p.m. at night is just my time.
Gotcha.
So every single day is like that I'm off. When I'm get off work in the morning from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., that's my time to either train, to work out at the gym, to deal with gym stuff or whatever other business stuff I have to deal with, as well as whatever projects I have going on.
Now I'll bring Chris. Chris, you work 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, weekends and holidays off.
It's nice.
It is nice.
Holidays, what's that?
Yeah. Real workers don't know what that is, Chris. Although I was staying in investigations for like 7 years, so I get it. So question for you. You work 8 to 5. You have 2 children. One plays football. One is cheerleading.
Yep.
Takes a lot of your time. How do you find time to get a little bit of time in the gym here and there?
I'll tell you, my problem has been for the last almost a year and a half, I haven't. And I need to rededicate that time and find it. My problem, like you were talking about doing your master's, is I think right now my schedule is just so booked up. From the moment I get up, it's get to help my wife. She does the majority of the work. Get the kids ready, take them to school, go to work, get off work, pick kids up, go home, go whatever sporting event they have. On the days that they don't have that, I go to school 2 times a week working on my master's. And we're doing some projects around the house. So it's like I need to figure out a way in my schedule now to find the time to do it. And it's just working in that time. Prior, with not having the school and when the kids weren't doing that, because my kids are younger than Mike's, they're 5 and 9, are going to be 9. It was easier because it was also easier to explain to my wife, hey, I'm going to stop at the gym 3 or 4 times a week and I'll be home around 8. So you have fun doing all the nighttime stuff with the kids. Make sure their homework's done. Make sure all this stuff's done. You know, but now it's much harder to say that to her. My wife would absolutely let me do it. I just, as a husband, don't know that I can do it.
It's just finding that time to plug it in.
That's it. I mean, I need to sit down. Really, what I need to do is get back to being disciplined and just getting up. For me to be able to do it, I just have to get up earlier. Yeah. I need to get up at 4:30 and go to the gym. And yeah, I know.
I'll make you a deal. You get up at 4:30, and on the nights I work, you can call me on your way to the gym.
And you can wake me up.
And I'll inspire you.
Right.
I'll give you motivation. I'll be like, Chris, you can do it. Whatever. What do you lift? Like, what do you lift?
I do powerlifting stuff.
I know, but like if I was gonna say, Chris, there's a certain amount of weight you should do to like inspire you. What would that weight be?
Right now it's really low.
You're like, can you deadlift? What do you deadlift?
When I was deadlifting, I was up around 6.
Okay.
Right now, I'd be happy if I could pull a 405 without pulling my back out.
Well, see there,
throwing my back out.
I'll remember that. I'll be like, Chris, come on, you can get that 405, bro. Let's do this. Get up there. Wake up in the morning. I'll be half delirious anyway at that time, so I'm probably eating a donut, but it's cool.
That's when we both worked midnight, so when we were doing it 4 o'clock in the morning.
Again, another thing that is encouraged in powerlifting.
Right.
Donuts.
Oh, really?
See, it's all ties hand in hand. Police, powerlifting, no cardio, donuts.
I mean, boom.
Right.
There you go.
Throw in sleeping and you have the fire department.
Look, Jesse just raised his hand. Jesse's in. So, like you bring it up, getting up early.
Right. I have to find it in my schedule. I have to make the time, and I just haven't been disciplined enough for the last year to do it.
It sucks, man.
Right. And then it becomes harder when you're trying to make extra time by getting up early. If you can find a time in your routine normal, then it's much better. You're much more likely to stick to it and go forward. I also really hate lifting at 4:30 in the morning. You're not awake. You haven't had anything to eat. Your body's really malnourished. Right. I'm clearly not going for my English masters. So, so it's not the same as being able to get in there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and lift. Now, with Mike moving his gym not from Rockledge to Melbourne, right off the interstate, it's a straight shot home. School's over in a couple months. It'll be much easier for me to
and you can just get in whenever you want.
Right. I can without upsetting her or making her do more work. It's much easier to explain to Nora to be able to do it. So hopefully in the next little bit I can get in more frequently.
Now you talk about the nutritional aspect of it. What do? Do you eat like a normal human being, or do you like small cups of rice and crap like that? Do you eat quinoa?
This is where anybody who's watching right now is going to start laughing. My lunches are typically the exact same thing for multiple years at a time. So I went on a kick of rice, Brussels sprouts, and chicken for about probably 2.5 years straight, every single day for lunch. I'm going to
take my headphones off while you talk about this. What?
But on the plus side, when I'm in the off season, I eat a lot of anything I want, kind of deal.
You're Italian, right?
Actually, funny story. I just found out that I'm like 60% Irish and only 20% Italian.
Oh man, that just changed it. Because I was about to say, with that last name, how do you regulate? Because I love my food.
Well, now
it's part of our heritage.
Now it's not the food that's the problem. Now it's the beer. And
yeah, I was about to say, now you're just
right. Oh, I'm Irish. Gotta go celebrate.
Exactly.
You get to
comes with it.
Totally rock the freaking green now. You'll be like St. Patty's Day is your day.
Oh, absolutely. It's created for me. In fact, my daughter just had her birthday party. By the way, happy birthday, Penny. Yesterday, and her theme was she wanted to do an Irish theme, so she made everybody wear green. They had a green cake and everything like that.
That's awesome.
So cool. She loves that fact that she's like, "Oh, I'm this much Irish now. This is great."
now you can get them into river dancing.
Yep. It's great now, but once she hits 21, you're gonna be like, "Oh God, she'll be the girl at Denny's."
God, I hope it lasts until 21.
Well, you were talking about food. I will tell you this: I've been out to eat with Mike before powerlifting competitions, and he has put down way more food than I have. We went to some fancy place when we were in West Palm one year, where it was not Island Pasta Company, one of those, the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
that was an expensive day.
Between me, him, and Jason, we put a hurting on the food in that ritzy place. They also weren't. It was in West Palm, so I don't think they were expecting the three of us to walk in T-shirts and khakis and past Ferraris and Lambos. And
that was a pretty interesting place.
Yeah. I just picture a lot of people in like very nice short shorts and Sperry shoes.
Right.
Like that's what I picture right now.
Well, I get done eating my 5-cheese pasta lasagna thing that they brought, and the lady's like, "Do you want some cheesecake?" And I went, "Yeah." She goes, "What kind?" And I went, All of it.
I'm gonna take this one.
Right.
Whoa, I'm not done ordering yet. Don't
walk away.
Exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Is that a whole pie if I pick 6 slices? Is that what that is?
I'm going to need one to go because I need something to eat in the morning. We weren't squatting the next day, so I wasn't really concerned about anything in my belly.
So do you eat like 6 meals a day? Are you one of those guys?
Sort of. I mean, it technically, it's about 6 meals a day because I do protein shakes and everything too, and I consider protein shake. Anytime I'm eating anything that's like more than a couple hundred calories, I consider that a meal. So I have, my regular breakfast, which is the exact same every single day, and that's not even dedication or anything like that. It's more of laziness on my part. I know how much it's going to cost if I start going out and I'm going to go to this restaurant or I'm going to go out to breakfast and everything. So I know how much food I have to eat. It's about right around 4,000 calories a day. So when I factor in all of that, if I don't prep my own meals and cook my own stuff, I can't afford it.
So what do you eat for breakfast?
Breakfast is 4 eggs, 2 pieces of Ezekiel bread with some butter.
I can't do the Ezekiel bread, bro.
Dude, the cinnamon raisin is good.
No, it tastes like cardboard.
No, it's good.
Oh my god! Now you had me with the eggs.
You got to put some of that Irish butter on it.
You got to put
That's where it
thanks.
is.
I'll invite you over. It'll be fun.
Is Irish butter? Is that butter with Jameson? I don't know.
Everything Irish is with Jameson. That's how it works.
I just kind of assumed.
Oh man! So
by the way, Chief, when I go into work tomorrow, that's not what was on it.
Yeah, that's not what's on my cardboard Ezekiel bread.
I've never had Ezekiel bread. It sounds fancy. Do you have to go to Whole Foods for that?
No, you can go anywhere.
No.
It's expensive though.
Every now and then Maria will bring it home, and I'm like, yeah. Like, where's the Marita?
You like the fluffy white Wonder Bread?
I want the fluffy white Wonder Bread. I want the one that comes like in the loaf that's like this long. I don't even know what that is. But
the large bread, it says Publix large, and they're little fatter white. I don't know. I'm so lazy. I just eat Uncrustables now. I don't even have to.
That's
anything.
so good though.
I know.
Come on.
You know the best part was like a couple of years ago, Gabriel was like, "Oh, I'm going to high school now. I want to buy my lunch." I was like, "Okay, bro, have fun with that. Buy that lunch. I'll figure you'll be wanting me to make it tomorrow. You'll be making your own tomorrow." He ate lunch at the school like twice, and he was like, "I'm gonna start bringing my lunch." And I was like, "Yeah, I bet you are." After however many years of us packing you a lunch, and then you go to school, and they're like, "You want some of this glue pizza?" He was like, "Oh God, what do I eat? What am I eating now?"
My kid
want
loves
the blue or the yellow?
Yeah.
My daughter loves the school lunch now. We packed her lunch for the last 4 years that she's been in school, and then she left her lunchbox at school 2 weeks ago. So we gave her some money to buy lunch, and she came home and goes, "I like school lunch better, so I want to start buying lunch." And I went, "Well, that's coming out of your allowance, so." Sure.
Oh, so you could be like Bella. Like what she does is we pack her lunch, and then she leaves her lunchbox at school, and she has now she has a series. We'll call them a series, a collection. She has 4 lunchboxes, and then at the end of the lunchboxes, when she can no longer have a lunchbox, we just throw it in a backpack, like one of those ones, like the cooler cinch bags.
Right.
We're like, here, you forgot all your lunchboxes at school. Then she comes back and she looks like a little hoarder with like all these lunchboxes on her arm, and but then we get a bill. Like every couple of months, it'll be like, "You owe the school $30," and I'll be like, "Bella, we pack your lunch every day," and she's like, "I needed ice cream," and I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's
isn't
30
that
days
fun?
worth of ice
Yeah.
cream." Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah, I don't remember them letting us buy ice cream when we were in school. I think every now and then you got an ice cream sandwich with your Mexican pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was horrible.
They sure as
Dude,
heck didn't let
love
you
the
bill
square
it.
ones. The square pizzas.
Yeah.
That was the best thing. Friday day. Every Friday was pizza day.
We had pizza combos.
Yeah,
French
they did
fries
not
and-
let you bill
French-
it.
French
There was
fries
no
and
billing
pizza.
it.
No.
There's no credit.
Yeah, there's no credit there. You weren't like being, "Oh, well, you could pay in a month." No, at my daughter's school, they're like, "Oh, go ahead. You wanna, get as many ice creams as you want. We'll just bill your parents later." I'm like, "Okay, $60 for 3 months worth of ice cream and
Like the summer
chips."
tab today.
Yeah,
They must know who you are. Oh, he's good for it.
Yeah.
He'll pay.
it's a Catholic school. They just know that they'll send some nuns over to my house to take it out of me if I don't give it to them.
With rulers.
Yeah, they're like, Steven, your bill.
You're gonna be sitting at the gates one day waiting to get in. They're gonna tell you the overdue $30 ice cream bill.
Oh man, there you go. Your daughter still owes that Big Ted book and this $30 ice cream bill. Pay that and you can get in.
Come in. We need to talk.
Yeah, did you put a one finger up, Jesse? I didn't notice you did. Was that a one finger?
Yeah, we could.
Okay, the only reason I saw your hand go up, but I was looking at Chris and it was in my periph. And so when we get back from the break, we're going to touch a little bit more on
Nutrition.
Chris wants to go with nutrition.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with nutrition.
Well, there's the X. I guess I'll sign right here.
Stop! Did you even read it?
No, I usually don't.
How many pages is that?
Like 20?
You could be giving away your firstborn son in that contract.
It's a pretty good point. I don't want to do that.
Or that's a lease, right? You could be giving your landlord rights to have their Fat Uncle Joe come and use your coffee maker whenever they want.
Uncle Joe's fine, but not Fat Uncle Joe.
Yeah, not that one.
Well, this is a lot of legal information. I don't really know it. Who could I go for this?
Well, that's exactly why we have Blake Stewart at Stewart Law. He specializes in business, contracts, and construction law, and he has negotiated low prices for contract reviews, just for cases like this. Check him out on Facebook, Stewart Law CS.
Or on the web at stewartlawcs.com.
Or give me a call at 321-541-6845.
Hey, Lightning.
What's up, sunshine?
I am so excited about our new show.
Oh, yeah? Well, what are we going to talk about? Real estate?
Of course.
How to get a mortgage?
Yep, for first-timers and experienced owners.
What about the best place to get a drink on the beach?
Lightning, come on. Who would know better than us?
All right, I dig it. Plus, I know we're going to bring in tons of great local guests, tell jokes, and talk about some of the hottest listings to hit the market.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Sunshine and Lightning over Brevard will have new shows every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming live from the beautiful Space Coast Podcast Studios.
And make sure you like our Facebook page, Sunshine and Lightning, Exit First Class Realty, and subscribe to Space Coast Podcast to make sure you don't miss out on any of our new shows.
Dig it.
All right, boom.
You're listening to Space Coast Podcast, home of the greatest podcasts on the Space Coast. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or having your own show, email us at spacecoastpodcast@hotmail.com.
Space Coast Podcast.
Talk hard!
All right, we are back. One thing I didn't notice today, Chris, I was expecting you to be wearing like an Ape Man shirt, figuring that you had dressed properly for the event.
I've outgrown some of them.
Oh.
So yeah.
Not T42 class anymore.
No, I could still make it. It's just I've outgrown in this area. Some of from up here has moved its way down here, and so I could still make do. I don't know if I can make it with Uncrustables in my pocket right now.
Might have to take those out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, but that works out well because so I want to talk about nutrition a little bit with you if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
How do you? So you got a lot of guys that come to your gym. I imagine that are firefighters, cops, work shift work midnights. What do you talk to them about doing as far as eating? Because I know when I worked nights, it was difficult. I know Steve keeps his normal schedule. I don't. I would wake up in the morning with my kids and be up all day and then go back to sleep and try to get some sleep before work and all that. So what do you got any any words of wisdom about that?
So I have, about a dozen athletes that I train that are training for mostly powerlifting. There's a couple of them that just do, either fat loss or strength training. And I do nutrition with them as well. And one of the things that I have them do is counting macros. I don't know if I'm sure everybody's heard of it. It's pretty popular now. But that's the biggest thing is keeping count.
Macro a weight? Like, what is a macro?
Fats,
fat,
carbs.
protein, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they'll keep track of it.
Like,
They'll
don't
use the
jump to
program.
assumptions. Don't jump to conclusions when you say, "I'm sure everybody's heard about this," because I've heard of a macro. I've also heard of a micro, and I don't know. So
Yeah, macros are your fats, your proteins, and your carbohydrates. And that's the thing. We'll have them count and figure out how much they're eating for the day of overall calories, and then also well as the macro amounts, we'll keep it within a certain percentage range. And all they do is whatever they want to eat. Doesn't matter what they're eating. Obviously, you want to make healthier choices, but as long as you stick within those ranges and that calorie amount, you're going to see whatever either gain or loss that you're looking for.
So for somebody who is going to cut weight, what would you?
Usually for people that want to cut weight, I'll put them initially between 200 and 300 calories below what they normally have. So the first couple weeks is just figuring out what your maintenance level's at.
Gotcha.
What you're normally eating every single day without changing your diet, and then I'll have them cut a couple hundred calories out, and we'll go from there. Gaining is the opposite. I'll usually do 100 to 200 calories extra for gaining weight. The big thing is not cutting too fast. You see all these people that are like, oh man, I'm going to lose 10 pounds a week, and that's not healthy. That's not going to last. So.
Right. I've done the weight loss clinics where they give you the phenedrine or whatever it is, the appetite suppressor, and you get a shot of B12 or whatever in your butt, and it works great because you're only eating 1,100 calories because you're just not hungry at all. But the second you stop that, within weeks, all that weight just comes.
And it rebounds, yeah.
Right, and it's worse because you just start eating again way more than you do before. And I guess with cutting weight too, it probably depends on what their goals are, right? If it's just somebody who wants to lose weight to be less fat,
absolutely.
But if they still need to stay strong because they want to make a weight class for strongman, powerlifting, bodybuilding, whatever it is, then you probably take into account some sort of thing there.
Yeah. So I mean, with weight loss or losing weight at all is all calorie based.
Right.
I mean, you eat less calories, you're going to lose weight. You eat more calories than maintenance, you're going to gain weight. The amount or what type of calories you're losing is where we start adjusting the percentages based on the macros. Like, okay, we're gonna play with this and increase your carbohydrates a little bit because you're doing a lot of strength training. So we want to keep the carbohydrates high, so we keep your tendons healthy and everything like that, and we keep the energy levels high.
You just have them like download one of the apps and just follow it along through the app.
Exactly.
Very good. Now, what do you think about when guys come in? And I know like one of the big phases now that everybody's doing is either keto or completely no carbs at all.
I've seen there's so many power lifters that are out there that swear by this. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the vertical diet, which is pretty much all meat, all red meat.
Yeah, carnivore diet, which is right down my alley. It just kind of scares me a little that you still, although I hate vegetables, I still will take a multivitamin, and I try to eat green peas and some other things that can at least stomach.
They're seeing on blood work and everything. They're seeing amazing results on that stuff.
Even on the carnivore diet.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, I think there's Sean Baker's one of the big. He's a doctor. Sean Baker is a real big proponent of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't seen
what's a carnivore diet.
Strictly meat.
It's just meat.
But isn't that what was Atkins?
So Atkins,
it's just high protein, low carb.
Right.
So it's similar, but you still ate other stuff with it and everything. You kind of just phased out most of the carbohydrates. Was low or no carb.
And you're eating chicken and fish and things like that, but mainly on carnivore diet, it's steaks and eggs. I mean, it's.
Look, Jesse's really starting to get into certain things right now. He wants to be the carnivore diet. He's okay with drinking Jameson while he does squats.
Yep.
He's very excited right now.
Listen, I will tell you that
motivated.
some of the best deadlifts I've ever had is while taking shots.
Mm-hmm. Whiskey and deadlifts, right?
Because what happens is,
no,
you don't get hammered drunk. It's not St. Patty's Day drunk, but you end up getting
the first deadlift. You don't,
right?
You keep on doing them,
but eventually, right?
I just picture you getting up to like number 16 and being like, "Hey."
Well, that's just it. You're so drunk you can't feel it anymore.
And you're more willing to now go. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go for that 6. I'm gonna go for that 610. I'm gonna go for a 620.
Uninhibited. You're like, let's do this.
Right.
Liquid courage.
You don't think. You just go up there, and I mean, a lot of it is technique, especially with deadlifting, but a lot of it's just not thinking, and just you have to have the confidence that you're gonna be able to pick this weight up off the ground.
Oh yeah.
So, say you had somebody starting off.
Mm-hmm.
They're maybe in. Let's go. Well, I don't want to pick on Chris.
You can pick. I don't. It's fine.
But no, we'll leave it. You're looking at Jesse. Nobody else can see Jesse. I think you're gorgeous, Jesse. But so say Jesse decided he wanted to start off doing basic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What would be basic things people can do nutritionally, overall?
I mean, obviously increasing any sort of exercise is going to be key to everything. Diet is critical for losing weight and for, looking the way you want to look, but for health and everything like that, exercise is also key. So getting out there and just starting some sort of program, regardless of what the program is, getting out there and doing something consistently. I know there's an old saying that 21 days creates a habit. So go out there, start doing it, make sure it's something that's small enough, they're not jumping in anything crazy that's going to, wear you out and knock you out so that a week later you're
or cause injury.
Out. Yeah, injury is a big one for sure, but also the fact just, losing interest in it.
What about, how old are you?
I'll be 35 this year.
You're 35. Okay. So I think a lot of people think about working out and they're like, it's a young man's game,
It's funny. There's so many people that I meet that are old, just really old, that are out there that are competing still. I mean, we go to competitions. I know Chris has seen it as well.
My dad's watching. So what is your definition of really old?
About 3 years more than your dad's age.
Okay, there you go.
But we'll
That's
go
a
out
good
to
political
competitions.
answer there.
Yeah,
That was
right.
great. Man, you have gone to some of those firefighter training schools, haven't you?
But we'll go out to competitions and you'll see 80-year-old lifters that are out there setting state records, and it's just amazing. You'll have people out there that have been training for literally 40 to 45 years of actual training, going to the gym every single day, and they're still at it. So
I think for me, the hardest part is diet, because I love food. Like, there's like people who like food and there's people who love food. I hang out with them. Like, those are my friends. Like, I love food and I like good food.
Yeah, but I mean, anything you eat is a diet. It's not. I'm not.
All of a sudden, you're selling me
dieting.
on something. So I have a diet.
Yeah, you're on.
I'm on a diet, everybody. I
so-
just want everybody to know that when I eat Denny's at 3:00 this morning, it's part of my diet.
Absolutely. It was just my high carb day. Don't worry about
yeah,
that.
it's all good. I'm gonna eat steak and eggs.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I don't think I want to eat the Denny's steak, but I do eat the Denny's eggs.
But I mean, it's the same thing. Whenever you start out, just start out slow. Okay, we're gonna make some changes that are a little bit healthier than others, but if you go out there and you sit there and you try to change everything and go, okay, I'm gonna go on the full organic, nothing but hippie food diet, you're gonna last like a week and then hate yourself, go out and binge eat 30 pizzas and
Bro, I wouldn't even have lasted the trip to the store to buy all that stuff. I'd be like, what is this?
well, when you get your bill anyway.
Yeah. Oh.
But that's exactly what I do. Like, Nora's like, all right, what do you want from Walmart? Pick 'em. Like, you know what? This week, getting back to eating good. Get me some chicken, some tuna, some eggs, some egg whites because I got to be healthy with it. Some peas, some steaks, and some lean beef, and we're good. And she'll buy it all, and I'll eat it for like 3 days, and then she goes, "What do you want for dinner?" I go, well, "I'm going and getting a pizza."
3 dozen donuts.
Right.
Yeah,
That is, yeah.
Yeah, that is true. I've never seen somebody who can eat like 6 donuts in a sitting after eating a breakfast sandwich, but Chris can do it.
Yeah, when we would go to Dunkin' Donuts on midnights, the clerk would go, "How many donuts do you?" I'd go, "Can I get a coffee, a ham, egg, and cheese bagel, and some donuts?" "How many donuts do you want?" "You put them in the bag, and I'll eat them." Surprise me.
Dealer's choice.
And no matter how many were in there, I always got sad after I ate the last one. I'm like, oh.
It's like when they put those little pop ones, those little donut holes.
You're right.
Yeah, it's like you'll throw them all in the bag, and Chris will eat them like popcorn. He's like, and all of a sudden he's like a little kid. He's like, oh, no more.
Start licking the
No
powder
more.
out of the bag.
I get
He
sad.
turns it upside down. He's like, no more. But that's the hardest part for me is the actual dieting. I know you said everything's a diet, but the cutting down of the calories
Yeah.
in what I eat.
You'd be surprised though. I mean, a lot of people, they think that they eat a lot more than they do. Shockingly enough, you see people that are like, "Oh yeah, I ate this much food. It was just so much." And then you look at, okay, what'd you have for breakfast? I had a piece of fruit.
I had a payday. I ate a payday on the way here. That's what I had after the time change. How many calories? Oh,
Then we go over that. Peanuts are okay. You're
peanuts
good.
are okay. Let me see how many calories are in this damn thing. Oh, good. I ripped that part off. Thank God.
So I downed a whole bag of Sour Patch Kids before we started. So
Yeah, he's pushing those pretty hard.
Yeah.
But, I'm glad. Jesse came prepared for today. He's got an Under Armour shirt on. He looks like he's ready to go golf. I mean, he's ready. I wore my sweat shorts today, which, by the way, Mary Adams hates and says they're dad shorts, but I think they're comfortable.
Yeah,
and I can eat whatever I want, and they don't get tight.
They're pretty bad, dude.
Don't mess with my shorts.
But you're good, though, the camera angle.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all about camera
It's all
angle.
here. This is how I make my money. So, do you drink soda?
No, I can't stand soda, to be honest with you. I drink a lot of the flavored waters like LaCroix and stuff like that. That's kind of how I got off of sodas. And then I'll drink diet sodas every now and then. Usually there's something in there like Jameson or Jack. But
you were hanging with your friends, Jameson and Jack, and
yeah, exactly.
maybe Jim every now and then.
we had a Diet Coke. It was fantastic.
Yeah, you shared a Coke. That's what those are for, right?
Yeah,
Or sharing
exactly.
a
Coke is one of my biggest problems.
That's my problem.
Yeah,
Soda.
I love it. And if I don't, and if it's in the house, I'll drink it. And
Yeah.
it gets to the point where Nora has to hide them, and then can give me like one. Like, it's bad
God.
because look,
You're like a child. It's
well,
like
It's your allowance.
somebody hide the cookies. Hide the cookies.
She has to do the same thing with the Uncrustables. if I can find them, I'm gonna eat them. So, but no, seriously, because if I go to the refrigerator and I'm eating dinner, if there's a soda sitting there or water out of the filter, I'm always gonna pick the soda. I know I shouldn't, but it just tastes better. And it's like, well, that's gonna taste better.
Gotta
So-
make me happy. I
Right.
like the bubbles on my tongue.
It just tastes better. So for me, the only way for me not to drink it is it just can't be in the house. If it's in the house, I'm gonna drink it. So, but I think that's one of my biggest killers. And that's when I actually do lose weight, one of the things I notice that does it the best is just when I stop drinking soda. It almost
sugar,
starts
man.
to just carve itself off from that.
If I wean off again, I will drop 10 pounds in like a week. It's stupid. But I didn't even think about it until I started weaning off, and I started buying those little tiny cans. Those like 100-calorie cans, because if I don't at least have one, I'll have a massive headache. So I'm like, I need my little can, because I don't drink coffee.
Right.
Like,
Well, see, that's what.
Ooh.
See, Nora never drank. Nora used to drink sodas, and she would have a soda in the morning, and she hated coffee. And she said one day, "I gotta stop drinking these sodas. They're bad for me. I'm just gonna start drinking coffee." And she's now built herself up to a tolerance that she actually really likes coffee, but she's got herself off soda. She drinks like one soda a week.
Which kind of coffee does she drink though? Like if it's a macchiato,
No.
maybe I can handle it. No, I
God,
actually,
you're
I'll drink.
So it's gotta be fancy, guys.
Oh, yeah.
So this is me. I'm like, I'm gonna drink coffee to stay away from soda. I need a caramel frappuccino grande with extra caramel drizzle, and make sure the whipped cream is to the top. And that's like, and they're like, that's only 743 million calories, sir. Have a nice day.
And it's from Starbucks,
Sold.
so it's $11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a,
Pinky out. I drink
I'm
pinky
definitely
out, bro.
a coffee
Fancy.
addict. I drink a lot of coffee though.
but a coffee snob or a coffee addict? Like you'll drink any coffee, or it has to be.
I'm a fireman, dude. We'll drink whatever we have. Maxwell House.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever's quick enough to make between
Target brand.
games.
between
You're like,
between Xbox games.
Somebody hit pause. I'll go make the coffee real quick. It'll be done. Like when those little cups came out,
No,
those
see,
little
that-
K cups, that made you guys thrilled.
See, I don't play any of the video games, so I'm the guy who has to make all the coffee.
Oh. I know what they call you then.
I walk
I
out.
can't say it right now, but I know what they call you then. Oh man.
Yeah. That'll be after the conversation.
It's okay. It's okay. So, what do you recommend for somebody that's just going to make a decision today? Say Jesse, look at him. Look at his little smiling face over there. He's talking about Jameson and all that crap. If Jesse was to say, right now I want to make a change, top 3 things.
Top 3 things. Start small. Make those small daily changes. Start exercising more, whether it be whatever you're interested in, doesn't really matter. And hydration. Start drinking water. And that's one of the things too, is if you start drinking water and you get up to, ideally you're looking at about a gallon of water a day that you want to be drinking. When you start drinking that much, things like, drinking a soda or anything else, it kind of gets out of your mind because you're walking around with that jug. And
Yeah, I
then
know.
you just look cool.
I see Josh Ellison walking around with that jug hugger thing, that
Yeah.
little koozie that goes around a giant
Yeah.
jug of water, and he's like, "Hey, just drinking my water." And I'm like,
Well, I get all excited.
Don't be jealous. Get yourself a water. It'd be the good.
Who brought you that water?
Christopher did because he is a good friend.
It's true. I get all excited when I know I've drank enough water and I pee clear. I'm like, yeah, I'm hydrated. And then I'll go drink a soda and I'll pee yellow and I'm like, God damn it.
Start it all over again.
Gotta do this all over again. Nah, screw it. I'm gonna go have another soda. It's already yellow.
Oh, man. All right. So let's flip it from nutrition and just physical. Let's talk about fitness in the mental health realm.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at a lot of people that they use the gym as therapy. Obviously, it's one of those things when you go into the gym and you go to the lift, whether it be just doing a regular workout or jumping on a treadmill or something. I'm sure with you when you're running and everything.
Yeah.
When you're running, don't worry, we're
riding a bike.
I prefer the word. I don't run. Like my dad runs because he goes long distances. I can do like a couple of miles, and it's more of a prance than really a run. Like I see people running, and like when people run, like especially when I'm coming home from work at like 5:30 in the morning, I see those first thing in the morning people, and they have that exact face that Chris was like describing, as you said, like that malnutrition. Like, and this is my sister. I'm waiting for the text messages to start coming through. Like they just look like they're in pain. Like, and like that's my discouragement right there. I'm like driving home and I'm like, oh God, you need a breakfast burrito. Look at you, I can make you happy. Come talk to me. Let me help you. Come here. Come to the patrol car. Come. Like I see that, but so when I run, I try to, and I did this with my wife. We had to run a Jingle Bell 2-miler the one time, and my wife, she is not a runner, and like she's great at doing everything. She will, if she's got to suffer through the run, she'll do it. She'll work out all the time. But she does not have that look of, I want to have a conversation with you while we trot, you know? And where I'm like, hey, so what's going on? Because I'm trying to keep my mind off the fact that my legs feel like they're on fire. So I'm like, hey, how's it going? She's like, stop talking. But so let's get back. I'm a prancer, not a runner. So let's go continue on to your mental health.
So whether you're lifting or prancing, but like you said, when you're running, you're trying to keep your mind off of your legs hurting or whatever else it is. You're keeping your mind on the running. You're on the goal of that workout, that exercise, how much weight you're lifting. You're trying to get through that, and that takes your mind completely away from all the other stuff that you have going on. So a lot of people use it as a therapy to basically clear their mind. You hear of everybody pushing, especially in first responder world, meditation and everything like that. Going to the gym and lifting like that is one of those routes of meditation. You completely clear your mind from it. We've
discussed yoga on the show. Mm-hmm. I know we can bring up Courtney. We actually talked with Josh Vandergriff, was a Cocoa firefighter who his brother was basically vehicle versus pedestrian. His brother died in front of him, and he had PTSD from it. And one of the things he was using was yoga. So we went over and we talked to Courtney over at the yoga garden, and Courtney is the 3-tour Afghanistan vet, and so she uses that for mental health. And she'll tell you straight up that's what saved her life. Mm-hmm. And so I know a lot of people are starting to use yoga. They are starting to use running, working out, all different ways of finding that peace, that rebalancing, So that's why one of the reasons why I want to touch on that, because obviously, we see a lot of things. We lose a lot of people, especially in the suicide rate is high in law enforcement and firefighting and public safety in general and military. But a lot of that goes, people start to, they like working out. Like cops, firefighters, military guys, a lot of them like to work out. So this is a good avenue for them to kind of find that peace.
Absolutely. And it's also the same thing with, I hate to say it, but you look at a lot of people when they start getting depressed and everything, and one of the things that a lot of people will say is one of the factors is stagnation in their life. Okay, I wake up and I do the same exact thing every single day. I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I eat dinner, I go to bed, and it's just over and over again. And having those goals that you're able to achieve, even if they're small, single goals, having a goal that you're able to achieve that's in something completely different than your career choice allows that growth.
Yeah,
because as we know with public safety, you could be the best of the best, and you're still
you still be chilling. Yeah, and that is a good point. There's a lot of leadership discussions that have to do with reasonable goals and reasonable time frames. Mm-hmm. Don't sit around and say I plan on losing 50 pounds in the next 6 months. You have to set the small goal first. I want to lose 5 pounds.
Right, you got to lose 5 pounds first.
Yeah, and then I want to lose 10 pounds. Then you start working your way there. I think what discourages a lot of people is they want to see instant results, because we live in a day of instant access. You know, like
Absolutely.
if I have a question, I can go to this. If I, kids today would freak out if they knew that if I was trying to call Jesse, I couldn't just call him while we were here right now. I'd have to go home, get to my landline, call Jesse, hope he's at his house by his landline, because there was no cell phone, no instant communication. And I think that's what we see with people in fitness. They want that instant gratification. They have to have that instant high of, well, I just shed all this weight off in like 3 weeks. I could post it on Instagram. Look how great I look. This didn't take you 3 days. How
No,
long
I've
did
been,
it take
I've been
you?
training for 20 years. So, I mean, since I was in high school, I've been training. And I went from, 10, 12 years ago, I was racing road bikes, nothing but cardio and everything like that. And then I started getting into bodybuilding and, the different training methods that I've used from start to finish are completely different. Like if I looked at myself 20 years ago, there was no way I thought I'd be into powerlifting or anything like that. And it's kind of how it grew. So,
Well, see, it's funny. My dad used to be about 300 pounds. And I don't know if you knew this.
No.
So my dad used to be about 300 pounds.
So maybe that is genetics then. Maybe.
Shut your face. So I got to try to be like 1990. He decided that he was like him and Commander Earl Petty. They were both heavy at the time. They both decided they wanted to lose weight, so they started cycling.
Mhm.
And now my dad's like 180, maybe 175.
That's probably
But
even high. Last time I saw him,
he's super thin.
Yeah.
But he started riding his bike, adjusting his diet, cutting out certain things, drinking water, and he's lived that lifestyle since 1990. He was the first person to bring home Ezekiel bread in my house, and I was like 13 at the time, and he's like, "Here, try this." I was like, eh. I learned very quickly that every time my dad said, "Here, try this," it was probably not going to be good.
so you've been tainted on health food forever. You established that young in your life. You don't like it.
Yes, I did. But as I've gotten older, I eat vegetables now. Where like as a kid, I was like, I don't like vegetables. I just want the chicken or the steak. Now I eat zucchini and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't like zucchini.
What about avocado? Do you like? That's a superfruit.
Yeah,
it's not
avocado's amazing.
Yeah, not a vegetable.
Not a vegetable. It's a superfruit.
What makes it super, Steven?
I don't know, because that's what everybody says. So I like.
It's green.
It's
Irish.
green.
Here's my problem with an
I saw
avocado.
a Teen Titans episode where they called it the superfood.
Here's my problem with the avocado. You have about a 30-minute window that you can actually eat an avocado. Because for a long time you can't even.
I'm sorry, is this a problem for you?
I was saying,
No. I mean, like
this inspires me to eat avocados. Like I look forward to that moment.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But
I have to get home now because this avocado will be bad in 30 minutes.
Right. If you can't twist the little stem off the top of it, you've only got like a 30-minute window. And then if you wait past that and you pop the stem, you open it up, it's brown, and it's garbage.
You ever do you do the squeeze test? You do the squeeze test?
No.
Like how do you know if it's good or not?
Well, then I can pop the stem off the top of it.
But you have to be if you
the
want to
belly button test.
Yeah, the belly button test. See, like I do and if it's like a little bit, like I can actually make it move a little bit, then it's ready to be eaten. But if you grab it and it's like super hard, that thing's not good for like a day or two.
That's terrible.
And then you have to have it within that window.
Yeah,
because if you don't have it within that window, it's brown.
Right.
You
and
know?
you wasted $20 on avocados. From
That's the other thing. What is it, like 4 avocados for $5? You're like, my God, I can buy 450 oranges for that.
I don't know.
Or corn dogs from Sonic. That's the reality, though. I mean, with change, people have to make that conscious decision for change if they want it. There's a million excuses and only one reason to really push somebody forward. And that's your own decision to push yourself forward. What do you, in closing, if you were going to pitch your business right now, go ahead and pitch it because it's on your chest,
Oh, yeah, absolutely it is.
Yeah, so if you were going to pitch your business and inspire people to walk through the door, if you had a chance to talk to everybody like you are right now, what would you say to them?
Basically, our gym is a giant family. We all support each other. We all take care of each other. We all motivate each other, teach each other. One of the big things when we first opened up was a good friend of mine that owns a gym over on the West Coast. He tells all his members, no matter how famous you are, how important you are, how strong or weak you are, everybody spots, everybody loads, everybody helps each other out. So whenever somebody comes into our gym, we take you on as a family member. Everybody looks out for you. Everybody tries to help you. Your goals, whatever they may be, become the gym's goals. So our whole thing is to that's why we named it Recruit Strength in the first place. Our goal is to recruit people into the sport of strength training.
Awesome. Now, I do have one final question. When Ricky Connor works out, does he wear leggings?
I can't confirm or deny that.
Is that my inspiration to come to the gym? Like you probably should come and check it out.
Would that be inspiring for you?
The answering the question may be inspiring for me.
I can't. I gotta know what's gonna get you in the gym.
What's it gonna take to get you to sign up for this here membership today, Steve?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I need the gym bag. I need one of those shirts. That's for damn sure.
Yep.
See, but that's the thing is like, I could be like, hey, I'd really rock your company. And you'd be like, probably not yet, bro. You need
give it a couple months.
Yeah, give it a couple months. And so we can actually read the logo and it's not kind of folded in weird places. And then you can have a shirt. You have to earn that shirt.
Right.
It's like stripes.
Ricky said that he does wear them.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
Thank
There
you,
you go.
Ricky Connor. All right, people are loving it. I think Ricky loved it himself. All right. Well, we thank you for coming on, Chris.
Well, I will buy you leggings if you want to go.
Are they Golden Girl leggings? They have to be Golden Girls leggings.
But if that'll get you to go,
bro, I would rock some Golden Girls leggings.
You have to go, and you actually have to move a weight.
We'll have to do a live feed from the gym if that's the case.
Oh, yeah.
Done. Oh, we can do that all
Really?
day.
Steve on camera doing live stuff? Yeah. That doesn't take much to do.
No, absolutely. I'm in. Like, that inspired me right there. I'm
all
excited
right,
now. Let's go. I'm bringing the Mevo. We're going to get this shit done. All right. On that note, thank everybody for watching.
Thanks,
Jesse,
Mike.
thanks again. Thanks,
Appreciate it,
Mike. Space Coast Podcast. Keep tuning in. He's got lots of new shows on. So
Real
keep
quick,
checking them out.
Go ahead.
Go.
Plug. How can they get a hold of your gym? We never did that.
Recruitstrength.com is the best way to get a hold of us. Telephone number is 407-267-2850. And our new location is going to be 835 Paul Prince Avenue, Building B.
And follow them on Facebook. All right. Y'all be safe.
Nice radio voice.
You like that?
Yeah.